Northwest Baptist Seminary began in 1927 as a fledgling school started by a group of ministers whose deep desire was to prepare pastors and missionaries for effective ministry. Dr. William Matthews, pastor of the Memorial Baptist Church of Los Angeles, California, was chosen to be the first president of this newly formed school, which they named the Los Angeles Baptist Theological Seminary. During those early years, God used many other great men of faith and vision like Dr. Carl Swayze, Dr. Herbert Hotchkiss, Dr. Milton Fish, Dr. Herman Ostel, and Dr. John Duncan to lead the seminary far beyond those humble beginnings. In 1973, the Board of Trustees chose to move the seminary to Tacoma, Washington, and Dr. Charles U. Wagner, pastor of the Temple Baptist Church in Tacoma, was selected to be its new president. At that time, the name of the school was changed to Northwest Baptist Seminary. The school is now located in the historic north end of Tacoma, Washington, on a beautiful 8-acre campus with a breathtaking view of the Puget Sound. Throughout these many years, even with the changes that have taken place in leadership and in geographic location, the mission of the seminary has not changed. The goal is still to prepare godly servant leaders to make an impact on the world for Christ. To accomplish that, our faculty and administration recognize the importance of maintaining a strong emphasis on both spiritual and intellectual development. It is not sufficient for students to master theology and biblical languages, but lack in the growth of godly character. This requires classroom instruction and individualized attention from the professors and staff as they pour their lives into the men and women of our seminary. Spiritual development is not optional at Northwest Baptist Seminary. It is an essential part of our passion for ministry. Following the presidency of Dr. Charles Wagner, the seminary has been privileged to have the leadership of other men of God, such as Dr. Ernest Pickering, Dr. Don Jennings, Dr. William Belshaw, and most recently, Dr. Mark Wagner. Dr. Wagner came to the seminary in 1993, having served for 17 years as a pastor. He has experienced the challenges of the ministry, and he understands the importance of getting the best preparation. The Northwest Baptist Seminary Graduate Degree Program is designed to accomplish that purpose. Presently, there are 5 main degree programs for students to choose. The first one is the Master of Ministry. This is a 1-year degree designed to provide intensive Bible training for those who desire greater effectiveness in lay ministries in local church or parachurch settings. The second is a Master of Theological Studies. The Master of Theological Studies is a 2-year degree with an emphasis on theology and biblical studies. The third, the Master of Divinity, is a 3-year program geared for pastors, missionaries, professors, military chaplains, and others who intend to pursue full-time vocational ministry. This program is the core of the seminary's curriculum. The fourth is the Master of Theology. For those who may be interested in teaching at the college or graduate level, a 4th-year degree is offered for those who have completed a Master of Divinity program. This curriculum provides a strong foundation for those who plan to pursue PhD studies. The 5th is the Doctor of Ministry. The Doctor of Ministry is an in-service program offered in a modular format. This course of study is designed to advance the professional and practical competence of those engaged in vocational ministry. The graduates of Northwest Baptist Seminary are noted for their excellence in service. Throughout the Northwest and around the world, you will find these faithful men and women serving in all walks of life. Many of those men who graduated are serving as pastors. Just to give you an idea, look at the following charts that picture the places where churches are being led by Northwest Baptist Seminary alumni. Other graduates and their families are found ministering in many faraway places as missionaries, as chaplains in the military, and even as presidents of Bible colleges. And not to be forgotten, but just as important, are those graduates who faithfully serve the Lord in other vocational positions here at home.
I am so encouraged with the work of God here at Northwest Baptist Seminary. Great pastors, missionaries, chaplains, and Christian workers don't just happen. They're developed. And as I interact with the men and women who are preparing themselves for ministry, I see that all of the studying, all of the hard work, along with the trials and spiritual challenges, are producing leaders who are more like Christ. Do you realize that academics alone do not prepare us well for ministry? No one wants a Christian leader who has great accumulations of knowledge, but who isn't growing spiritually. Academic excellence must be wedded to spiritual development. So how does spiritual growth happen in a seminary setting? Well, it doesn't happen without planning. Here at Northwest Baptist Seminary, we have classes in spiritual development, in the discipline of prayer, in spiritual formation in the local church. But along with these specific classes, each professor seeks to bring spiritual development into his discipline. For instance, when teaching theology, questions are asked like, how do the Lord's attributes impact the way you live? In addition to our professors looking for opportunities to influence our men and women, we purposely seek godly leaders who will challenge us spiritually in chapel. Daily chapel becomes a time of spiritual encouragement and refreshment. As the president of the seminary, I believe that creating opportunities for spiritual development is so vital that I endeavor to spend time with each student during the year in a time of prayer. Some students come often as we seek the Lord together. You can't always quantify the growth that occurs in our lives when we spend time together in prayer, but you can feel the difference that prayer makes. Northwest Baptist Seminary has been investing in the lives and ministries of our students for over 80 years, and we expect to be doing even better in the days ahead. We're developing some specialty classes that will help youth pastors, women's ministry coordinators, and missionaries as they prepare themselves here. In addition, we have some specialized continuing education classes for pastors that are held on campus on Mondays throughout the year. These, along with our excellent Doctor of Ministry classes, are meant to strengthen those who are already out on the front lines of Christian service. My own testimony is that my seminary education on this very campus over 30 years ago was a great resource to me when I served as a pastor for over 17 years. I have never regretted the training I received from the incredibly godly profs who invested themselves into my life. And I believe that you will find this true as you come and experience the spiritual education of Northwest Baptist Seminary.
If you believe that God is directing you to train for ministry, or just desire to have a greater knowledge of the Bible, we encourage you to pray about the possibility of attending Northwest Baptist Seminary. Veterans benefits, limited scholarships, and college loan deferments may be available to you to assist with seminary expenses. Our Student Services Department will work toward making your transition into seminary life as smooth as possible. You may obtain a free catalog and other information by calling our toll-free number 1-800-488-4675 or by visiting us online at www.nbs.edu.